Clear the air on climate. Recently, it was revealed that Volkswagen had allegedly been duping diesel emissions tests on some of their high-end, environmentally friendly cars. People were outraged. The CEO resigned. Days later, the Premier of Alberta said to the Alberta Chambers of Commerce that we had better get our environmental house in order or we would have measures imposed upon us, and also said that Alberta has bad air. Really? I challenge that statement. In 2011, Canada's air was judged to be the third highest quality in the world. In 2006, Environment Canada was reporting that Red Deer was an unusual hotspot for poor air quality, related to fine particulate matter, but this was said to be due to the transportation corridor emissions, nothing else. NAV Canada's handbook on weather conditions for flying around Alberta confirms that weather conditions and terrain play a big role in air quality. Likewise, transportation emissions, stagnant air, and humidity are factors in making Paris, France, the site of the upcoming 21st Conference of the Parties, the climate change talks, also one of the dirtiest cities in Europe in terms of air quality. Episodes of stagnant, damp air led to Paris air quality levels of about 180 micrograms of particulate matter of 10 microns or smaller, PM10, per cubic meter, more than double the safe limit of 80. We only get that when there's a forest fire. And the French government forced people not to drive. But what is the real reason for this terrible pollution? Faulty climate policy, of course. As Bloomberg View explains in Climate Policy and the Volkswagen Scandal of September 23, 2015, Europe made a push for diesel on the claim that it uses less fuel overall. But diesel emits more smog-inducing soot and more nitrogen oxides, or NOx. Preferential tax rates for diesel led to Europe now having more than half the cars on diesel, and in France, now over 80%, thus creating a much larger public health risk and not saving the planet. Does it not strike you as hypocritical that 50,000 people intent on saving the planet will be flying, driving, taking a fossil-fueled boat, train, or car to Paris in December to reduce emissions? Shall Canada impose solutions upon them? Economist Ross McKittrick pointed out to me that Canada never gets credit for the advances we have made in addressing real pollution. From 1985 to 2011, our industrial carbon monoxide emissions down 26%. Industrial carbon particulate emissions down 44%. Industrial sulfur dioxide emissions down 69%. Total economic output up 89%. When we go to Paris, we should demand that every other nation in the world meet these standards, and until they do, they have nothing to say to Canada on emissions. The UN is based on the principle of equal sovereignty. This is probably why Saudi Arabia can be elected to be head of the UN Human Rights Commission, even though it has reportedly beheaded more people this year than ISIS. Point that out if someone tries to impose environmental standards on us. As Google engineers recently revealed, Renewable is not doable. So let's stop promoting it. Global warming has stagnated for over 18 years and 8 months, with temperature rise being at values very close to zero, to quote German climate scientist Hans von Storch. The real push behind the Paris conference is related to carbon trading, not climate change, not air quality, not saving the planet, but rather saving the financial backside of those who made rushed renewables investments and, like Volkswagen, have been caught out. They're hoping to impose a global carbon trading system on us. Their bad investment decisions should not require us to pay their piper. There's lots of foggy, smoggy, hot air emitted by the whole climate change circus. Let's clear the air in Paris.